So today we are learning about pairs, right? So in previous video we have discussed about vectors. So let me comment this. So let me go down. So now we are studying about pairs. So let me copy this first three lines. So for pairs, you don't require any. There is no like a library for it. So you can simply use pairs without including any library. For vector you need, for map you need. So what is pair? Before that, let me explain you what is pair. Pair is like this. So there will be two data structure here. So you can keep this two data structure, anything. It can be int, float, string, any two data structure can be kept under a single name. So that is what pair. So it is like a vector, you can imagine, right? Vector can store many values, but pair. So when we are discussing about map, you will come to know how pairs have lesser value than map. That means if you create a pair, you can create for only like two values. That means it can store, if it is int and char, it can store like this. So can't you make this pair to store many number of these values, like two, let it be b? You can do that. You can simply use an array of pair that we are going to discuss now. So now let me go to pair. That is how to declare a pair, or how to the method one. That means how to create a pair. So you can create like this. You simply write pair. After that, you give two data types, anything, right? Anything you can give. After that, you give a name. Let me name it as p1, right? After that, you can simply give 1 and abc. That means 1 corresponds to this function, and 2 corresponds, that is abc will correspond to this string, right? Now let me talk about method 2, right? Now pair of int, let me take char, let me name it as p2. Now what I'm going to do is p2, right? P2 should be equal to make pair pair. Inside that, I'm going to give the elements to make the pair. So let it make 2 and a, right? Small letter a. So what would be the method 3? So you can use any method. So method 3 would be simply declare the pair first. Don't initialize it. So simply declare it. So let me call it as p3. After that, p3 dot first. First means what? First. First means what? First means the integer type, right? It is of integer type, because int you have taken first in the order of, right here you took int first, then character. That means first will become 4. That means integer. p3 dot second will be equal to some character. Let me call it as z. So this is about creating the pair. Now let us look at how to print the pair. It again, it is simple. You can print p dot first first, then give some gap, then p dot second, give some end line, and p means there is no p, right? So let me print p once. So what you need to get, you need to get p1 first, that is 1, then p1 second, that is abc. So let me run this. So there is error, unable to find a string literal, right? What is that? I missed some operators here. So let me run. I should get 1 abc. So I will get, right? Now what you can do with pairs, you can actually copy this pairs to another pairs. Imagine I have, so let me copy, so let me create a pair of what type of int and char, char char. Let me call it as p4. So you can simply write p4 is equal to p2. So p2 content will be copied to p4. So if I print c out and c first, first and second for p4, it will be simply equal to the value that p2 had, right? 2 and a, you need to print now 2 and a, 2 and a. What if you change the values? Actually you can actually change the values. Like p4 dot first, it can be equal to integer. So now it is 2, right? So let me give 20. You can change that. p4 dot second, let it be equal to, let's say, some character like yes, right? Now if I print p4 dot find, that is first, and p4 dot second, what will be printed? Obviously 20 and yes will be printed. So it is printing. So now let us talk about referencing. Reference. So imagine, now continuing from this p4, if I print, I have changed the p4 first and p4 second, right? So p4 will, I copied the p2 content to the p4. Now I changed this p4 first and second. So will it affect the p2? No, it will not affect. So it will not definitely affect, right? If I print p2, now what will happen is the p2's first and second will be printed. So that will not change. If p4 changes, it will not do any damage for p1. So it will be again p2 and a. So 2 and a. So reference means what? Imagine I am creating a pair like of int type and character type. Let me call it as p5 and let it point to p2. But this time it is having some reference, right? Now if I print p5, definitely the first and second of this p2 should be printed, right? So it will print. But if I change the content of p5, then it will definitely impact p2 now, because I took the reference, right? Let p5 dot first, let it be like 30, then p5 dot second, let it be like l or k, because l and 1 are confusing, right? Now I have changed p5. So if I print p5, it should be changed. But what if I print p2? Again, that will also be changed. So let me copy p2 print statement. Let me run this. So p5 is changed to 30 in j. Again, p2 is also changed because it is having reference. So what all you can do, you can again swap both pairs. So here, so of same type, there should be one condition, that is pair int char can be swapped with pair int char. So here p2 and p3, p2 has 2 and a, p3 has 4 and z. So let me swap these two things, swap p2 and p3. So if I print p2, what would be the answer? So it should be the value of p3, right? p3 is what? 4 and z. So you are getting 4 and z. So now if I print for p3, what would be the answer? For p3, if you think that it should be p2's value, that is a and 2 and a, that is wrong, because now before this code you have used this reference and changed the value. So you have changed it to 30 and j. So now you need to get 30 and j for p3. So you are getting 30 and j, right? So these are the operators that you can use. Again, as I said, I'm creating array of pairs, right? Pairs. So let me create a pair. So let me call, it should have int and int, and let me take p6, right? And p6 in bracket, p6 is just a variable. There is nothing more than that. So in square bracket, I'm going to put 3. That means 3 pairs I'm going to create of p6 type. So I can initialize like p6 can be, right? So let me take 2 because it will be easier for understanding. I will create a for loop. I will traverse from 0 to 2 I plus plus. Here I will create uh, 2 variable x and y, right? I will ask the user, please enter x and y. So when they insert, I will make p6, it is nothing but a variable, 6 is just a variable name, dot that is in bracket I dot fi rst first be equal to x, and p6 dot I dot second will be equal to y. After that you need to print, right? So for to know whether it is working or not, you need to print it. So let me print it. So how can you print? Again, simple, cout p6 of I dot first, then give some gap, then p6 dot second, right? After that you can give end line. Here I should mention this I here, right? Let us run this. Getting some compiler error. So it is expecting what? Unqualified ID. So dot, that is what I extra thing that I have done. So it will print all of this thing. Then it will ask me. So let it be 2. So 1 and 2. Then next is 3 and 4. Should print again 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? 1, 2 and 3 and 4. So that is how pair will work. The next video we are covering about maps, I think. Let's see.